Thank you very much for joining me here on Newsdesk. My name is Kimini Nyamani-Aman. On the program this morning, we'll get a quick update on the 9 persons believed to be supporters of the New Patriotic Party who are currently receiving treatment in a hospital in the northern regional capital Tamale after a shootout. And would deal with a lot more MPP matters ahead of the April 12 National Delegates Conference in Tamale. And then we'll wrap it up with the DVLA workshop. We'll bring you up to speed exactly what this workshop is about when Joynews' Matilda Omega joins us live from there. Share your thoughts with me on any of the issues we are discussing this morning on social media platforms. Joynews on TV, on Facebook, and on Twitter. I live on Twitter as well. I tweet at Kimini. I'll be so glad to share your thoughts with the rest of us here in this community. I'll be right back. I'm glad you could stay on Newsdesk. My name is Kimini Nyamani-Aman. Let's move on to a first issue of the day. And the 9 people believed to be supporters of a New Patriotic Party are currently receiving treatment in a hospital in the northern regional capital, Tamale. Our team in the north say they sustained gunshot wounds last night at Abuabo, a suburb of Tamale, during activities to herald the New Patriotic Party National Delegates Conference. And the 9 are said to have been shot by unidentified men in a moving taxi and another on a motorbike. So should this raise major concerns about the conference? Let's get a quick soundbite and then we'll talk about that matter.
What happened yesterday was that at about 11 p.m. some MPP sympathizers were having a program, a jam at the Tamale West Hospital area. And as the jam was going on, some people in a taxi, we are told, suddenly, arrived at the place and opened fire on the crowd. So as we speak, 9 people are injured and they are presently at the Tamale Teaching Hospital receiving treatment.
Right. Now, what exactly did they say, those eyewitnesses that were there, what exactly did they say was the real problem that brought this unfortunate incident?
So far, the information coming in is very, very scanty. But what I can tell you is that the incident happened in the wee hours of the night, so it's making identification of the people very difficult. And also because they came in an unidentified taxi, the information flowing to us is now very scanty. But we hope to make a very, very big headway.
What exactly are you doing right now to ensure those people are apprehended? Or have you deployed any men?
Yes, we have deployed men to the area where the incident happened. Actually, we have a security plan for today up to the end of the conference, and this is not going to distract us at all. We will ensure that the people who are behind this dastardly act are quickly arrested to engender some kind of confidence in the people, and we'll also ensure that it does not distract our men, does not lead to loss of morale in our men. We are telling them to go all out and provide security for the conference to come on successfully.
Is there any contingency plan, especially in regards to holding of conferences or parties, just like yesterday's instance, to ensure that or to curb any such incident? Is there going to be any curfew or whatsoever?
Oh, not at all. We have not gotten there yet. When we get there, we are going to cross it. It will be too early for me to speak about imposition of curfew now. So what I can say is that all people who are coming to Tamale should not entertain any fear at all. They should come. We will be in our numbers in town. The places that we have identified as potential flashpoints, we are going to saturate all those places with our men to ensure that there's security for all.
Have you made headway in the investigation yet?
You mean the shooting incidents?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. The information coming is very scanty, and we don't want to release any information out there. So we want to keep everything close to our chest now. We are very, very optimistic we are going to make some headway. Some people are going to be picked.
Right. Now, those that have been injured and are in the hospital making or getting some treatment, have you heard anything about their conditions now?
I'm told one is in critical condition. The 8 are not so critical.
Right, and we discussed this matter further with political analyst Dr. Agui Darko. Take a listen.
As an international relations expert, Dr. Agui Darko, with the University of Ghana, to speak to us. A very good morning to you, Dr. Agui Darko, and thanks for making way and having the time to speak to us. Now, particularly, how would you, by your own observations, say has been the event so far in the media as it's played out among the various personalities and all the issues they've said in preparations for this very conference?
Thank you very much, and good morning to your listeners.
Morning.
If you look at party organizations and if you look at democratic systems, normally we say that political parties are ubiquitous in any democracy. They are very important actors, whether you like it or not. They must serve as avenues for recruitment of political leaders. They serve as avenue for training. Sometimes they serve as avenue for education of the electorate, and sometimes even misinformation and so on and so forth. So all in all, you find political parties playing critical role, whether in government and out of government. Of course, when you are in government, then you have a unique opportunity of trying to, as it were, roll out policies and programs that will fulfill most of the manifesto promises to the people, and so you put yourself in good stead to capture power or to retain power subsequently. You find yourself in a position, you have a clear task, especially in our part of the world where incumbency advantage is almost always exploited, to the disadvantage of those in the opposition. So you have all what we call the patronage advantages available to you as a government in power. And of course, you also will have the opportunity to make all the mistakes if you are also in government. And then that can also go against you. If you find yourself in a position and you want to wrestle power, then there are a number of things that you need to do. One, how do you conduct yourself such that the party will be seen as credible alternative to the ruling government? That's one. Secondly, how do you even critique major policies and programs? And how do you position yourself to offer constructive alternatives? Then offer constructive criticisms. So people will see that if you are given the opportunity, you're going to do something different. How do you propose to deal with some of these issues like endemic corruption that we experience? How do you put your house in order? How do you interrogate various party issues without necessarily descending into the gutters, as sometimes you see in some of these juggling for positions within the parties and so on? And of course, if you look at the MPP and if you look at Ghana generally, we have experienced what Samuel Hattonte will refer to as a 2-10-over test. In other words, in 2000, we had alternation, political party alternation or power alternation. In 2008, we also experienced power alternation. Now, that said, that should give the key actors, the key political parties, the necessary experience to be able to conduct themselves very well in a run-up to even major elections or even elections within their own party as a way of demonstrating their democratic credentials and so on. But as any human institution, sometimes you have people in there who, because of inordinate ambition, sometimes they desire for what I will refer to as certainty at all cost. The fact that they want to win at all costs. Sometimes we adopt all sorts of methods, including unconventional methods, just so that they can win the slot. Yes. And it can be damaging.
Now, particularly for a party as important as the NPP, because it is the biggest opposition party, it has been a party that has been in office before, and so is a major stakeholder as far as Ghana's political process is concerned. How do they make sure they're able to manage some of these difficulties and disagreements, usually played out in the media, so that it doesn't affect not only the intra-party politicking, but also how they are perceived by external stakeholders like the electorates and perhaps also observers just outside the political space?
Yeah, thank you very much. That's the point I was emphasizing, that once you have people or parties which have experienced political power, you would think that they would have raised some level of maturation, and that perhaps will guide their conduct. But as human beings, sometimes the experiences that we have, perhaps sometimes we don't think in time, and we disregard the experiences of the past. You are also, as a political party, MPP, will also be coming against an incumbent president, hopefully, who is still interested in continuing. And so that, presents a very Herculean, task, for the MPP. Of course, a government in power, as I indicated, has all the patronage advantages, has all the incumbency advantage, the state machinery behind, the president and so on. And so you need to be tactical. You need to you need to have all hands on deck. You don't play into the court of the opponent, for instance. But, sometimes if the processes are not fair to some actors, why not? You expect them to talk. But you also expect that they will be rigorous and civil in some of these comments, and because sometimes when you are critiquing your own, party dynamics and internal party arrangement, you are careful not to give your opponent a lot of ammunition. Because a lot of things that you say, if you are not careful, are the very things that the opponents are going to use against you in the elections. And that may resonate, with the people, because they will have you on tape, they will have the experience, the evidence to demonstrate that, look, it's like you contesting a particular candidate. And instead of you highlighting the advantages that you have, the competences, the experiences, and the capacity to address the critical problems facing the party, you will see, more often than not, you will see individuals attacking other personalities and literally, descending into the gutters.
Okay.
And if you are not fortunate, for instance, and that party, the person that you are rubbishing wins, you're giving a lot of ammunition to your opponent, and that can really undermine your own chances of actually winning, the election. But no, Roland, you realize that, or you reckon that we have factions in every system.
Definitely.
In every system there are factions. But how do you manage the factions such that they don't behave like webs in the bowels of the organization?
Let's go live to Tamale now and bring ourselves up to speed. My colleague Emmanuel Ante, who is in Tamale ahead of the Congress, was at a scene of a shooting, and he brings us this. Take a look.
This is where the incident took place. This is where the shooting took place. This is where the people were having fun, and then the shooting took place. You could see from this car that a bullet entered through here, and when you come here, you will see how it penetrated through the car, through here, to the people, and met the people here. There are other gunshot holes that you can see around. A lot of people you see around here have relatives being hurt, and that's why they came here to sympathize or see where the whole thing happened. I have one of the uncles of the girl, the only girl who was injured. The father of the girl who was injured, and he's one of the New Patriotic Party, the Northern Sector Executive, who is here he's the former regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party, and he will tell us what really happened, because when we came here this morning, he's really agitated as to what happened. And so he will tell us what his position is.
Yeah, good morning.
Your name, sir?
My name is Mr. Adu Al-Hassan.
All right. What really happened? How did you get to know what was happening?
In fact, yesterday, the boys gathered and then welcomed Nana Adudanka Akufo-Addo, the flag bearer of New Patriotic Party, to the town. And then they said they will have a dinner dance, to enjoy themselves. And then they were here by 11 o'clock, enjoying and dancing. And then some people took a taxi, unknown number, passing here, and then as soon as they reach here, then they shoot guns. And then about 9 people was injured. They are not in the hospital.
Yeah, that we know. Now we know we've also been told that one of your daughters was also involved. The only lady who was also involved in the accident, and he's also in critical condition.
Yes, my own doctor. She's the third one. She's also very injured. She's now at the hospital. Yesterday in the evening by 2 o'clock, she was sent to theater to operate the bullets. As we are sitting down here, they are sending her back again to operate the rest of the bullets. In fact, we are not happy about what is going on in this region. We are not happy about what is going on in this region because it seems the police have taken one side, supporting one side, and leave the other side. Because we have never done this thing. If NDC have their program doing, we have never done it. And any time that NDC have a program to do, NDC will like to.
What evidence, if you're now apportioning blames to the other party or the other political parties who are also not here to defend themselves? But in a nutshell, what would you do? What would you do to ensure that this thing is kept? Because we only have tomorrow. We only have tomorrow to really to ensure that any of these such problems.
In fact, this program is for MPP. It's for us. So we are go ahead with peace. Outside after the program.
Right, so that was a playback Emmanuel Ante gave us after he visited the scene of the shooting earlier today. But we are joined by Emmanuel Ante again over the telephone. I also have National Coordinator for the West African Network for Peace Building, Isaac Bayer, over the telephone. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us here on Newsdesk.
Thank you. Thank you, Kamini.
Imam, I'm going to start with you. What's the latest in Tamale on this particular issue?
Well, Kamini, I would say the tension is now very, very, very high, and I think the authorities, the security authorities, would need to really strengthen up the security or beef up the security in town. Because all that is going on, all that they are saying now is that they are all talking about retaliation. And some of them are saying they are waiting till the Congress ends or the whole thing ends, and then they will also go and retaliate for them to see that they are also men. Others are also of the opinion that they should go and retaliate now. And the unfortunate incident is that some of the NPP officials who are also here are also rather fueling the whole thing. Some of their communication members are also fueling the matches, and I think it's not the best. So the tension here is very, very high, and if we are to avoid or to curb anything, I think the authorities will have to start now. They have to start beefing up security in town now.
You mentioned retaliation. Explain retaliation, because I'm not sure why they would want to retaliate.
Well, they are saying that they believe that this incident was carried out by the NDC party, and so they want to go and retaliate with the NDC. They want to fight the NDC parties that are here. They believe that anything that is happening, or anytime anything happens with the NPP here, the NDC does something, and they also believe that the security agencies, the police, are in favor of the NDC. So when two of them fight, it's only the NPP supporters that are captured. So they think that it is the NDC who is behind this issue.
I see. That's why I come to you, Isaac. What are your thoughts on all the occurrences since last night?
I think that these things are quite unfortunate, especially this is the time that Northern Region, Tamale, for that matter, has the opportunity to demonstrate to the whole country and to the world that the region is not very violent and it is not an unsafe place as people perceive it. But unfortunately, it seems this opportunity is being missed by these latest occurrences. So I would say it's unfortunate, and we need to really work hard, the security and all other stakeholders, especially the political parties, to ensure that we do not let this thing escalate.
There's also an issue of retaliation having come up. And aren't we looking at a blow-up just before April 12?
Let me say that we are even lucky that we have heard outside that there's likely to be retaliation. What would have happened if they did not say it, then they go and plan somewhere else, and then they attack all of a sudden. So I think that this is even an opportunity for us, the security, for us as stakeholders, to ensure that we use this opportunity to intervene immediately and ensure that this thing doesn't escalate. But I do not foresee a blow-up before April 12th. The security is on the ground. Their presence can be felt everywhere in Tamale. And I think that they are working hard. But, Camille, let me add quickly that what I would propose or what I would suggest is that the security should go beyond being visible in the streets to enhance their intelligence network, their information gathering system.
Okay.
Because, you see, some of these things happen because we do not have the ability to get intelligence and then foil any plan that people might have had. So being present, of course, is important, but it is also very, very essential that the security enhance their intelligence system to be able to gather information beforehand.
I see.
Yes.
So, Ima, give us an update on the security situation now.
Well, as I'm speaking with you now, the security are at the Jubilee Park. They are trying to deploy more men. They are doing their parade and doing their briefing. According to the PR, he told me that from there on, from the police briefing on, they are going to deploy more men into town and more men into the areas, the flashpoint areas. They believe that will have some security threats there. So, and they are also. He's also saying that they are contemplating as to whether to bring in more men aside the 1,200 that they are bringing now. They are contemplating as to whether to bring more people, more of the security personnel here. And he's also believing that with their strength that they have now, they can keep the situation in no time, and that this thing will not affect anything here whatsoever.
Isaac, considering we had several events from murder to arson in Tamale in recent times, from the get-go, didn't the MPP make a wrong choice of Tamale?
Let me say that I don't know, but I think they might have chosen Tamale before those incidents occurred. But even with that, I don't think it is a wrong choice, because it's all part of proving that Tamale is not as violent as people think. And so it is for me, it is not a wrong choice. It is just that we need to, we should have done more than we have done now, to the extent that this situation would have occurred in the first place. That's my thought.
I see. In doing more, the police is made. The police needs to be visible. You've asked that they gather intelligence, more intelligence prior to April 12. How should they go about doing this? Because already those who have been attacked are saying the police is siding with the attackers.
Yes.
How should they go about in handling this matter?
Yes. Precisely so. You see, that is what we've been talking about, that the police need to act in a way that will not let people believe that they are partial or they are taking sides. So what is the police need to do now is to show that they are not taking sides, is to show that they are out to protect property of everybody, whether you are NPP or NDC or an ordinary citizen living in Tamale. So that if this perception is not neutralized, then the likelihood of the other part still insisting on revenge is high.
Right.
Yes.
Ima, has the police made any arrests so far?
Not yet, not yet. And it's very difficult for them to even identify who and who is involved. Even those that were there, those eyewitnesses, are even not sure of who was involved. Because they said that the taxi that was used in carrying out that activity has no number plate. So they do not even know who was in the car, who the car belongs to, or which of the cars was used in doing that. But they believe that by the end of today, they might have further information as to who carried out with that program. And coming one issue I should also raise is that the security presence here since we came here from Sunday has been great, but this comes as a shock as whether this thing was really planned or not, because since Sunday it has been peaceful and they have been moving with the NDC supporters and all, and even some of them are even saying they have arranged with them. They want to make sure something successful happens here so that there won't be any, they will carry, the image that will be carried away from Tamale after the Congress is that the Tamale people are peaceful. So this thing comes as a shock as to why this thing should happen at this time, the 11th hour of the program.
Absolutely. So how are people on the street reacting to this?
Well, they are very, very, I would say, maybe afraid. Some of them, most of them that we see are afraid. They are wondering what will happen next. Today, we don't see much women walking on the street today as we used to see every day since we came here. Now, a lot more men are rather doing other activities instead of the women. So here, security is a bit shaky. The people, the mood of the people is a bit unclear, you know. So we wait to see what happens with the economy.
Isaac, no arrests have been made. The Congress is tomorrow. And this is a shock to the security program the police may have put in place. Should the MPP look into postponing this?
Like I indicated earlier, I don't foresee the possibility of this thing escalating. So I think that they are good to go with their proposed activity. Like I mentioned earlier, I believe that the police needs to strengthen their intelligence gathering. You know, your reporter just mentioned that this thing came as a shock. Precisely so. If everything was calm, they are patrolling the streets, and if they were able to make their information gathering system very strong, I think that they would have been able to pick up at least some information that some people somewhere are planning to attack some people. But also remember that these people were a group of people who were standing somewhere having their own party or jubilating or something. It's a gathering. So even not having the information that there's a likelihood of an attack, but having the information that a group of people somewhere are partying should give them an indication to go around there to at least just give some kind of security and patrol the area. So
right.
the event such an incident occurs, they could follow up and maybe apprehend the perpetrators.
Isaac, you're very much convinced that we won't see a blow-up of events. Why so?
You know, when things happen, it gives an opportunity for us to learn lessons and then replan and implement strategies that will work better. So I think in this situation, the police have learned their lessons. The security agencies have learned their lessons, BNI have learned, all of us, we have learned our lessons, and then we are now replanning and we will strategize in a way that we will be able to neutralize any potential skirmishes.
I see. I'll leave it here for now. Thank you very much, Isaac. Isaac is National Coordinator for the West African Network for Peace Building. But I still have Emmanuel Ente over the other phone. So, Ima,
yeah, coming in.
Beyond the shooting, what should we expect today?
Well, today, the NPP, they're already on their way to the Solon Nas house, and then from there, they will move to Ali Mohammed's residence and grave they will have to perform some few rituals there according to them, and then from then on they will move straight to the mosque to do some service, prayer service before the Congress itself happens. From the Congress, they will also move to the various hostels and hotels where the delegates are staying and are being kept, and have probably a tete-a-tete as to arrangements, how it is done or what to be done at what time and when. And then after that, from 4 or 5 going, they are expected to go back to the stadium, especially the election committee. It will move back to the stadium, and then accreditation will start to go out now. So this is what the program is all about. At the moment that I'm speaking to you now, the technical guys, those that are supposed to make sure that things happen and go without any hitches, are all on the stadium. Sound checks are being done. Everything that is needed for the program is being carried out at the stadium currently. And so, Kemini, this is what is going on, or what is going to happen today.
I think you're going to show us that briefly, perhaps in subsequent broadcasts, the real preparation at the stadium. Thank you very much, Ima, for joining us here. Emmanuel Ante is a Joynews reporter whose pitch comes since Monday at Tamale in anticipation of the National Delegates Conference for the NPP. Share your thoughts with me on any of the issues we are yet to discuss, and what we have discussed already on our social media platforms. Joynews on TV, on Facebook, Kemini Amano on Facebook, or tweet at me at Kemini or at Joynews on TV. I'll be so glad to share your thoughts with the rest of us here. But to come, we'll look into the NPP Delegates Conference proper, away from the shootout. And you don't want to miss that conversation. I'll be right back. Thank you very much for staying on. Now, the leadership fight for the New Patriotic Party gathers momentum as Alan Chermantin declares his intention to contest for flag bearer and heads to Tamale, where Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo already is. And Alan is expected to touch down this morning. I'm joined over the telephone by Philip Langdon. Philip Langdon is special aide to Alan Chermantin. Thank you very much, Philip, for joining us here.
Thank you very much.
Has Alan arrived in Tamale?
He hasn't got here yet. He's on the station. Will be there a little later.
When are we expecting him, though?
Oh, he's coming in today. He's coming in this morning. Yeah.
Alan has also declared his intention to contest for flag bearership of the NPP. Maybe a little too early, but what are the kind of responses you're receiving already?
Well, thank you very much. Alan, what he did was to send a goodwill message to the delegates who are arriving here, who have already begun to arrive and gather here in Tamale for our Congress. The goodwill message was to wish them all well and to encourage them to look for leaders who would demonstrate competency and bring unity among the rank and file of the party towards pursuing the next election. And in that statement, he did indicate that for the avoidance of doubt of anybody who might think he might not be contesting, he is definitely interested in the race. He will be contesting, and at the appropriate time, he will make a formal announcement. But then he is definitely going to contest for the flag bearership of the party. The emphasis today's Congress, for this weekend's Congress, is to elect national leaders. So that is what it is.
So what's been the kind of responses you've had since that declaration?
Oh, very positive. Well, the declaration didn't come as a surprise to most in the statement he made did not come as a surprise to most members of the party. It was rather reassuring to many of his supporters and well-wishers that, some were not sure because they hadn't got a definite statement from him, and because of the way some other candidates were going, it appeared as though it was a one-horse race, but that was made clear that Alan would be coming in, and it has been very reassuring to his supporters, who are a mass of the middle class of the party, and they are very encouraged.
Right, on his arrival in Tamale today, what must we expect from him?
Oh, well, as we normally expected, his many well-wishers will be there at the airport to meet him, and he will make a few stops in town before he eventually settles at his hotel. I see.
Thank you very much, Philip. Philip Langdon is special aide to Alan Tremontaine, and we've been talking to him on Alan's arrival in Tamale. He's to arrive in Tamale later today. This is Newsdesk. I'll be right back. I'm glad you stayed on Newsdesk, and we'll stay on the NPP issue. Alan Tremontaine is declared his intention to contest for flag bearer and heads to Tamale. Nana Dankwa, who's also declared his intention to run for flag bearership ahead of the 2016 polls, already is in Tamale. There are perceptions that those in the race for national executive positions are skewed along Alan and Nanado lines, and really I want to find out the effect on this, on the race itself, and then on the party generally. Dr. Opoku Edu is political science lecturer at University of Ghana, and he's joined us over the telephone. Hello, Doc.
Yeah, hello.
Thank you very much for joining us here on Newsdesk.
Yeah, thank you, too.
Dr. Edu, your initial thoughts on this, the fact that there are perceptions that indeed those in the national executive race themselves are skewed either towards an Alan line or an Adodankwa Akufo-Addo line. And now we have both of them declaring their intention to run for flag bearership on the 2016. Your views on this?
Well, that is all. I'm not, I can't get it very well, but I suppose we want to find out whether whoever wins is going to affect the fortunes of Nanado and Mr. Alan Tremontaine. Is that a question?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. I think that, certainly, in a country where we have lots of patronage in our politics, whoever wins, has some influence. And I think no one can actually downplay that. However, I think there will be other considerations. Don't forget that at the moment, Nanado happens to be the most popular and most powerful man within the NPP. And even though he's lost 2 elections, there are many within the party who believe that they were robbed, more or less. Whether that is true or not is another matter. And so people are going to consider a number of things. One of them will be the two personalities, but others will include who will be the best person to unite them to defeat the NPP in 2016. And most importantly, the third, who will be able to win the so-called swing vote or the excludable voters. And so there are a number of factors that will actually combine to affect the fortunes of these 2 men. And whoever wins, to become members of the national executive will be just one of the factors that will decide the fate of these 2 men.
But for a race for national executives, if such a race is skewed along these lines of being on the Alan side or Nanado side, how healthy is this for the party?
You mean how good is that for the party?
How healthy is it?
Yeah, I'm driving, so the line is very bad.
I'm asking how healthy such a situation is for the NPP, which is in a position.
Well, I can't get to that. If you are asking as to whether that is good for the NPP itself as a party, is that a question you're asking?
Very well.
Well, I think that, since 1992, this problem has gone on. And if you ever be there with the party, you will never get everybody agreeing, as to who to lead the party at any turning point. So there will always be dissenting views. What is important is that if the processes are fair and transparent, then at the end of the day, they will have to unite behind whoever, is elected. I think that it is going to be very, very difficult for anybody to really defeat Nana when it comes to Congress to elect a third bearer, no matter who and who become members of the National Executive. As I have said, Nana is extremely, hugely, popular within the NPP today. And given what happens in the court and developments, following it. And even yesterday when he arrived, and so on. So I think that the odds still favor Nana, and notwithstanding whoever becomes, even if anti-Nana elements manage to become the national executive, it will be extremely difficult to convince the broad majority of the party members to vote Nana out.
Dr. Edu, what I've been driving at is the fact that it's okay, of course, for members of the party who may not hold national executive positions to be along that lines, but it doesn't seem healthy when the executives who are supposed to lead the party seem to be drawn along lines of who could along lines of these two men, these two men seeking flag bearership position ahead of the 2016 polls.
Well, again, the line is not very good, but let me try and answer it as I understand you. I think that, the idea that people are going to vote for this or that person on the basis of their support for Nana or Alan is quite simplistic, even though it's not altogether irrelevant. It's quite simplistic and it overlooks the rather complex dynamics. Though you're considering who is likely to defeat the NDC in 2016. Who is marketable, who has a vision that would have captured their imagination. And in voting for people who may even be anti-Nana or anti-Alan, it's still the case that there will be other considerations. At the end of the day, they want to come to power. They've lost two successive elections. This is the third one. And I think all of them, and they will listen to all the contestants. One issue that almost everybody is saying is the protection of the vote come 2016. And the presumption here, in my opinion, is that they think they were robbed. If that is the case, then it will be difficult to see how our people who become executives can persuade the rest of part of the NPP to vote against Nana.
Dr. Edu, we'll leave it here for now. Thank you very much. Doctor...
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm driving, so the line is very faint. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Dr. Opoku Edu is a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana here in Accra. But I'll read some of your messages that have been coming in already on Facebook. And I'm going to start with Musa Ali Kone. Whether both are out or not, NPP will die out soon. How can you hang your party on the neck of Nana? They will rot in a position. Theophilus Osai says, and who told you the NPP is only Nanado and Alan? Do you know Dr. Bawumia? Saeed Izzuddin says, with regards to the shooting in the northern region, I would be happy if you guys say Abuabo, a suburb of Tamale and not Tamale. I believe we said that, Saeed. Abuabo is not bigger than Tamale. I can get up and walk to Abuabo from where I live. I'm sure we've made that distinction already, Saeed. Georgina Wendilov said, she says, PPP should come and free us from oppression. Both Nana, Alan and the whole NPP and NDC must leave Ghana alone till God comes. Benis Bosso says, Nanado very old for job. Charles Kweku says, our party has future and I know all that Alan and Nanado's will come to an end and I'm hoping to see clean and fair Congress. Very well. Ajiman Emmanuel Frempon says, NPP has a lot of competent and vibrant contestants apart from Nanado and Alan Cash. In fact, because we have outstanding leaders who could lead the party, especially the presidential seat, it becomes difficult for the party when we are choosing leaders. I can tell you confidently that even John Bwedu or Samir Wuku can rule the country very efficiently than, well, We'll leave that one out. Amza Nostradamus says Nanado is a very come on. Calvin Johnson, Ifeanyi Johnson. Stop getting involved in relationships. I'm not sure that has anything to do with us. Joe Yusufa says Nana should delete himself from the party. I don't get that, Joe. So I'll skip your message and move on to Abdullahi Razak, who says Nana is the best man for our party because of his credential, but Alan is also welcomed. Some sort of democracy here. I'll read some more of your messages, but let's go to Manya Krabo now, where the spokesperson for a group calling itself concerned NDC branch executives on use of Lower Manya Krabo constituency. Frederick Atanas Okoro has appealed to President Mahama to hold on the inauguration of assembly members elect until the new MCE is nominated. According to him, it will enable the president to nominate a new MCE before the inauguration ceremony. He made this appeal in an interview with Joynews of Dumase in the Lower Manya Krabo municipality of the Eastern region. Take a look.
Civic right as a citizens of the Ghana. We are here to register our displeasure to the government against the fact that they have violated our democratic rights and have insulted our chiefs in the face by endorsing the list an MC who has expired his office. And endorse the list as government appointed to our municipal assembly without due diligence. The MC we are talking about has elapsed his tenure of office as MC. He has no any legal background to write names of appointees for government to approve. And we are disappointed in government officials, and we think that this is an insult at its peak to the people of Lower Manya Krabo municipality. And we are here to raise placards to tell the government that they have insulted the conscience of the Krabo people, and that they must come out and apologize to the Krabo and withdraw the list and review it with due diligence. Consult the chiefs, consult the MPs, consult local council of churches, consult civil society groups, consult the youth group in the community, consult the Muslim community. Let everybody have a say. This is our right, and we demand for it. We demand for it, and until that is done, we are here waiting for the regional minister to arrive.
Me a branch women organizer. And senior how I have an any say. Say you go to me, Ama. President, the day you government of Westia. Or that consulting MP. Ni party members, party constituency executive. Ni ohini na omu si promotion. Or that on your own transit and on the government of Westia.
Requires that the various stakeholders and the traditional authorities in particular are consulted before such a list is generated. Wasn't done. That is a violation of the Constitution. And so we are saying we cannot sit back and watch an illegal occupant of the MC's office perpetrate an illegality in the name of the NDC party. All we are asking is that that list be withdrawn with immediate effect. We mentioned that yesterday at the press conference.
It's been 4 months now since we elected our assembly members. They have not been sworn in. So if assembly members are going to be sworn in, then the government appointees that are being appointed by the president must be done by the provision of the constitution. So that what we are saying is that Isaac Tetagbo is occupying the office of the MCE illegally because his term of office has expired. We have heard rumors that he has been served with a letter to hand over. This is supposed to be on the media waves for the public notice, but nothing is being done about that. But what we are saying is that his stay in office is illegal. Constantly voted for the NDC party. So if today NDC government is in power and there is issues pertaining to the development of the Lower Manyakrobo municipality, and there seems to be an insensitive from the end of government, I think that it's unfair on the part of government to treat the people of Lower Manyakrobo as such, because we find these illegalities of the government appointees as a violation of our democratic right as a people, and also a serious disrespect to the chiefs and people of Manyakrobo municipality. And what we are saying that today a session of us are heading to court to place an injunction. What we are saying is that the regional minister knows the right thing. He knows that what we are saying is the right thing. We want him to immediately...
From Lower Manyakrobo onto Facebook, Majid Nambi on the shootout in Tamale says, nothing can stop the conference from happening, not even mere idle criminals. Prosper Silencer at Tichogui says internal politics and these things are happening. This is very serious. I believe we do not need these things looking at the state of democracy the country has reached. Thank you very much for all your messages on Facebook. I'm glad you sent them in. Pleasure coming your way. Thank God it's Friday. We get to have the weekend. You stay good. I'll see you again at midday on News Today. My name is Kimini Nyamani Amano.